No, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, Beverly.
I'm Mark.
Yes, sir.
How'd that happen?
How did what happen?
How did I become Mark?
Oh, because you signed in as host using my address.
That's what Bev told me to do.
Right, and you did it correctly. So then you have to go and change your name. Like I signed in as Bev, so now I'm changing my name to Mark. So over in the corner of the box, there's little dots that you hit, and it, one option is to rename yourself.
I have technical assistance here, which is good. Let Willow run the meeting.
Right. We'll hire her with a stipend.
Willow, how do I get this? How do I start the camera here? Got it. Thank you.
Hello, Kate.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Hello. Put the light on. It's still pretty dark here. Hi, everybody.
Being backlit by your window.
Maybe I'll move it at an angle.
Perfect.
There.
Good.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good.
Good, thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, two people are in the waiting room. I'm not used to doing this, Mark, as far as letting people in.
And if you want, you can make me the co-host and I can let them in too. But just keep hitting admit and you'll be done. And then you'll have to hit record.
Okay,
Oh, no, it is recording. You're good.
it is recording.
It doesn't look like it's recording to the cloud, though. It looks like it's recording.
Okay, we are recording right now. I'm going to start the meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order.
Oh, it looks good, Bill. I see a cloud around it. I think you're okay.
We're good then, good.
Yes.
Call the meeting to order. We don't have minutes yet for the March 10th meeting, so we're going to have to pass on that. Anybody as far as audience of citizens? I think we're good there.
They wouldn't know how to get in.
That's true. I have enough time getting in myself. Whoops. I just lost you guys over here. Okay. I wanted to, our next meeting for the year, right now, as Mark will tell you, the Board of Selectmen is meeting live. I'm hoping that by September, we can do the same thing, you know, as back on the normal track that we were doing before. But we do have one more meeting in June. I wasn't sure how everybody felt about it, whether you wanted to have the meeting or whether you want it or not. I did think about that. If we are going to go forward with the meeting in June, on June 9th, I'd like to get some kind of a speaker to come in on a remote basis to talk about a particular topic. And I didn't know if anybody had any ideas of someone that we could ask to come.
And Bill, if I can add, so everybody understands, what we've set up in the conference room is something that you can do a hybrid meeting where you could have people distanced, comfortable. If they want to wear masks, they can. But let's say I can't make it and I'd rather come in remotely. I can still join the meeting from a giant screen TV in the conference room. And it's all connected through a TV camera. So you can all see me, I can see you. So you can do either or.
Any thoughts from anybody about someone that we can invite to, I mean, I can look around and find somebody to give a presentation or a talk, you know, but I'd be interested in the thoughts of the committee, at least the committee members that are here.
I don't know.
There aren't many members who show up. I mean,
You
you're gonna have a
suggest-
speaker for how many of us? There's 3, 6, 9 of us here?
Yeah, are you suggesting we don't have a quorum?
I would never do that, Bill.
Well, Bill, one of the things that I'm seeing in different towns is they do this training called Hidden in Plain Sight. And it's geared for parents, and it's around, you know, places and ways that teenagers may try to hide when they're using, you know, substances. And from the feedback that I've heard, it's a really good presentation, but it may be kind of beyond this small group. It may be something that we want to think about opening up to a larger group. And I don't know if there's going to be time for that.
And perhaps maybe that's something we could do in September or in the fall. It's a great idea, though.
Yeah, to go along with that, hi, I'm Katie Wilt, Community Social Services Coordinator for Town of Columbia, for those of you who don't know. And I hesitated being a newer member to this group. But Columbia has an anti-vaping prevention grant. And yeah, Hidden in Plain Sight is something that I've heard mentioned in different circles as I've talked to colleagues who are doing some prevention work, especially around, you know, parent education. So potentially, you know, even if there was a particular speaker trainer, that could be something that I could incorporate into the grant. Even if it's something we potentially, you know, lined up now for, you know, the fall time.
We did a presentation in 2019 on vaping, which went very well.
Mhm, mhm.
So, you know, I'm not sure if the committee would want to repeat something like that or not.
Okay, yeah.
Sherry, did AHM do Hidden in Plain Sight? Because that sounds familiar. Okay. You're muted. Yeah.
Yes, we did it in collaboration with RAM. I also think that EO Smith may have also done it, but I'm not positive about that.
Jack, do you recall seeing anything over at EO regarding that?
No, not in the time that I've been there.
All right, okay. All right,
I'm looking it up because I cannot remember if this is the program that is pretty expensive to bring in, and I just can't recall.
Are there any other sort of coming out of COVID related things that people can think of?
yeah, how to operate computers. Yeah.
You're supposed to be an expert at it now.
Do you think parents might be interested in learning more about the vaccine that's now available to, what is it, 12 to 15-year-olds? Is there somebody that can maybe talk about that?
It's not a bad idea.
I like that idea.
I like a lot too.
Yeah, that's a great idea, because I know a lot of the youth, meaning 12 and up, who are not getting the vaccine because of a lot of social media that is convincing them to wait.
What are they waiting for, though?
They're waiting for it to be further tested. They feel that the vaccine was rushed. They feel that due to politics of Trump trying to get reelected, that he pressured the FDA to give a false approval of the vaccine. So all this is creating a generation that spends a lot of time on social media to believe a wave of information that says, don't get the vaccine yet, hold off. But that's the generation that's going to really have what's happening in India right now. You know, you could have another big outbreak from as soon as all this young generation in their 20s and younger all get together in big groups down in Miami or wherever. So
May I
I
ask,
think it's a problem.
just ask Jack, what are you hearing at the high school? I mean, what are your fellow students thinking?
I mean, a lot of the people that I've talked to personally are in favor of it and are like starting to get it, but I've definitely heard people, not a huge amount, but there's definitely a good group of people that are not wanting to get it and are hesitant.
Do you think they're afraid vis-a-vis science, or is it a politically motivated sense?
I think there's people who are in both groups and some are against it because of some sort of political reason, but there are others who just are afraid of what might happen.
I think you have parents too, who maybe even got the vaccine themselves, but are unsure about giving it to their kids. So I think that could be a helpful presentation.
Okay.
There's also fear that the biggest fear I keep hearing is that it alters your DNA and that it's untested and we're all lemmings getting this shot based on the government telling us it's a good thing to do.
Isn't it amazing? At my age, and Maureen, you're my age, sort of, not quite, but you're getting there. Polio vaccinations. When I was growing up, polio, my goodness, we were scared to death of polio. And it was wonderful when Jonas Salk came out with the vaccine. And I don't recall, maybe it was happening and I just wasn't aware, but we were just so grateful when we had the vaccine. So whatever. It's a whole different era. I understand that.
I had an aunt that got polio. So, and that was before the Second World War.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe at this point, if it's there, there's a good possibility of protecting yourself. Go ahead. Unless it's, Rebecca will tell you that I was never going to have one of these shots. I said for months, and then another daughter said to me one day, Mom, if you and Dad get it at your age, you'll die. And we don't want to see you die. So here I am, months later. I had my sore arm. I've had my 2 shots, and I'm feeling good. I don't think anything's changed inside of me yet. Rebecca might tell you.
Little horns coming up. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who can kind of present to the group, but I'm sure that there's somebody local, maybe a local pediatrician or somebody that would talk to, parents and anybody that's interested about it.
Okay. We'll look into that. So we're looking more toward the fall for that, say September or November. Would that be something we're looking for, or do you want to try to do something sooner than that?
I feel like sooner would be better if it's possible, but that might be tough to get somebody. But right now is the time parents are making a lot of decisions, I think.
If we could publish it, we could probably try to plan it for the June meeting, but it's going to be quick,
Yeah, I know.
How and where would you do that? I mean, would you expect parents to Zoom in, or how would you go about it?
I think you'd have to do it by Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna fill a gymnasium full of parents right now.
If it's done by Zoom, Mark, you're going to be the host, okay?
Okay. I know, and then I have to be ready for the Zoom bomb. I really don't want to see any thing that I don't want to see on a Zoom meeting.
I understand.
I agree with Denise. I think that it needs to be done sooner rather than later. We have a window of people making this decision. I work with a lot of really little kids, and they're very open about the things that they've heard at home. And I have heard many more than a handful of children say, I'm not getting the vaccine. My parents are waiting to see what happens to other kids. And so that is some of the idea or the thoughts that are going on. So I think that doing something that, gives the science and dispels some of the myths and answers the questions and has a discussion component, I think could be really useful for getting parents the correct information.
If you listen to the radio today, they have the state top pediatrician answering questions. And her recommendation is go to your pediatrician as a parent and talk to them. But if we could get a pediatrician that could talk to the parents, pros and cons, this is everything that's out there. I'll answer all your questions. I think it would be well attended.
And you would advertise it how?
Find out. I guess that's a good question, Carol, but I would say you'd advertise it as a medical expert will answer all your questions in a calm, free-flowing Zoom meeting.
No, I
something like-
understand that, but how would you get the people to know that there's going to be a Zoom meeting where they can get a lot of information?
Well, I think the key would be the school sending out through their email blast. The town would use their email blast.
Okay,
And then word of mouth and Facebook. We do everything Columbia. We just
Good.
hit the airwaves full force.
Mark, would
We-
you consider asking Fane, the nurse here at Porter, if she has a recommendation for like a popular pediatrician for Columbia kiddos?
Right. That's a good idea because she might know who most of the parents use.
Exactly,
And trust.
exactly. I have no idea who that is, but I'm sure
No.
that she could tell you
Neither
which
do I.
names she sees coming through on the forms over and over again.
Okay.
Sounds good.
so this would be June.
I guess that would be the goal.
Yeah, I think
Work
so.
your magic, Bill.
Yes.
Are we,
Yes, Denise.
Oh, work your magic.
if you're pressed for time, is there something totally sacred about the second Wednesday of the month? I mean, if it could be later, would that give you more time to advertise, to get more people involved?
The only problem would be they'd be out of school, I'm not sure when school ends this
Or
year.
when is, okay, good idea. Good point, rather.
And-
School ends really early this year. It ends, I believe Columbia's last day is the 14th.
And our next meeting would be the 9th of,
Ninth.
The 9th. The
Right.
9th is probably good because it's before school ends.
well, if that's the point, yes, that's a very good point. It just gives Bill less time to,
But
Okay.
really, the key is to find the right
First.
pediatrician willing to do a Zoom meeting and then just advertise the heck out of it and let them make a presentation.
be great.
That's what we'll plan on doing. Is there everybody in agreement because we don't have a quorum?
Well, we may have a quorum. Katie, I'm sorry, are you a new member of the committee or are you representing the town? I
I
get
don't know if
lost.
I'm officially a member. I know I said that, but I work for Town of Columbia in a social worker position with the general population. So, but a little prevention work too. So that's partly why I'm here.
She's about to become a member,
Okay.
subject to-
I agree.
They'll do anything to get a quorum. I mean, does anyone have a dog that could walk into the room at this point?
I got one right here.
You see? Oh, there you go.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Mark, I'm going to move on with the agenda. There's a lot going on in town, a lot going on in Rec Park, that you've reported to the Board of Selectmen. Can you give us a report from the town administrator?
Sure. If you've been to Rec Park, you'll notice that the girls softball field's done. The basketball court is a huge hit. I see that filled with people playing basketball. The pickleball court, I've already had people asking me to build another pickleball court. We're about to line the tennis court with a different color line, so you can actually play pickleball on the tennis court. The walking trail is used constantly. And right now we're about to add some more guardrail, and our Public Works Department completed a beautiful new parking lot all by themselves. It was amazing that they could do that with the equipment we had. Our equipment is not heavy duty equipment, so it was not easy. They just kept at it all winter. We had a mild winter, so they were able to do it. So I'd say all that is positive. And then if you notice the town green, there's a big project going on right now to create a complete walking path from the library all the way to the gazebo at the end of the town green. So the sidewalks will be totally connected. And what probably people don't know is the residents walk around the school every night, a lot of them. So as soon as the kids leave school, it becomes a giant walking trail. And now they'll be able to extend their walk all the way to the gazebo and then eventually around the whole school. So that's going well.
AHM, any update there at all, Sheree?
Sure, I'll just highlight a couple of things. Summer Youth Theater is back in person, so that's super exciting. So that's open to youth 7th to 12th grade. The Health Matters Health and Wellness program is always offering new programs, and that all that information can be found on the website. We have our annual golf tournament coming up July 23rd, I believe it is. And that's a big fundraiser for us. And finally, we have a new clinical therapist who is currently accepting new clients. So that's very exciting. Oh, and also I got a message from Tressa. Virtual Hidden in Plain Sight is $300. And she is going to look into the live version. I know that's a lot more expensive, but I've been to the live version. I haven't been to the virtual one, but I don't know how they would do it virtually. Like, I don't think it would be as rich of an experience. That's all.
Thank you. Jack,
Will
what's
we
going-
be having when does the new principal start? And will we have that person as a member of the committee, or that's not a requirement, I guess, to be the principal, but Bill, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm trying to recruit both the principal and the social worker, as you know, so we'll go from there. But
The principal starts on Monday.
I'll call her on Tuesday,
Good, because I mean, Alyssa really did give us a lot of information.
You did.
Did I hear correctly that the new principal is Karen Caputo? Is that right?
You're muted.
No, the new principal is Kara Lewandowski, and she's coming to us from Norwich Public Schools, I believe.
Okay,
Yeah, Karen's still the assistant.
okay,
She'll be still kind of acting as the school principal though, because Kara, based on an email that we just got, Kara's responsibility for the rest of the school year is really getting to know the staff, getting to know the students, figuring out scheduling, meeting with all the teams, and doing that more than like the day-to-day operations of the school, and really being able to hit the ground running come, August, whatever it is.
Jack, any update at all from EO Smith? Anything going on there that we need to know about?
We just resumed school 4 days a week for students. So a lot more students in the building, but still really good social distancing and masks and shields and things like that. And I saw a vaccine clinic that I believe was for students during school yesterday. So good step.
Now, is everybody back in school or is it still hybrid?
It's either you're in 4 days a week or you're completely online.
I see.
So no more hybrid.
Katie, any update from the social worker?
Just to mention again, the anti-vaping grant, just looking to solidify the plan for that. Sherry has been helpful just to bounce ideas off. You know, she gave me some direction that's useful, because ideally it would be really nice to have some of that education happening in the schools. Of course, you know, this past year, so much on their plate just to manage through. But looking into purchasing some evidence-based curriculum that's easy, user-friendly for, you know, essentially the health teacher to incorporate. So just trying to finalize that piece of it. If that isn't something that's going to work out, then, you know, just broader messaging across the community. But yeah, I'd love to have our young people, you know, really well equipped with the correct information around vaping. You know, I've certainly learned a lot just in my own research of, you know, just some surprising things with that. Just even as there is more regulation around it, it's still pretty scary how it can be dangerous. And yeah, we all need that toolkit of how to deal with those pressures successfully. So yeah, love to see that take place, and hopefully I'll have more of an update of what that will look like next month. In the meantime, Park and Rec will also have a little anti-vaping sign by the playscape with a little QR code that links to some resources, like some non-judgmental resources, as I anticipate maybe people who are curious about it might be a good audience for what's there. So looking to get that done. And yeah, I guess these are just some of the basics. Again, if there's any families who are still, you know, I shouldn't even say still, if are encountering any financial difficulties, you know, those parents can be referred to me, you know, just to support that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Committee member comments. This is your time, Carol. Go ahead.
I'm commentless.
Make note of this. May 12th.
Ooh, now I'll have a comment.
I move that we adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you for all coming. Take care.
For the record, it's 5:55.
Thank you.
And I think you had a
Thanks,
quorum,
Bill.
depending on how many members we are. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks, you too.
Aye.